Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up in just a couple of days time, we are going to see our next major update for Warzone and Modern Warfare 3, of course known as Season 4 Reloaded, or the mid-season update for Season 4. This is currently set to launch on June 26th, and yes, this will be a major update for everyone that has a full-on download. So everyone's going to have to go through, download a couple gigs before they can get on to play. But with this update, we're going to see a bunch of new in-game updates across the board for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, new content, new gameplay changes, all sorts of stuff like that. And today, I wanted to break down everything we currently know about Season 4 Reloaded. So as we dive into all the details today, if you enjoy the video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you have not subscribed yet, let's go ahead, let's change that. Every single day, this is your one-stop shop for everything going on in COD. News, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, it's all right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to guarantee you are always up to date. But as mentioned, yeah, June 26th is that current target date for Season 4 Reloaded. Of course, things could always end up changing if something has to get delayed or there's an issue there. So that's when it should be happening, so long as everything goes according to plan. Now, with this update, we're going to see a lot of mode-specific content, but then also a little bit of universal content that's usable and available across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. But focusing first on some of the mode-specific updates, with multiplayer, we're actually getting a lot here with the Season 4 Reloaded update, both at launch, but then also just throughout the remainder of Season 4 as a whole. So we are getting a couple of new maps with Season 4 Reloaded for multiplayer. First up, we've got Incline, which is a medium-sized 6v6 map, and this is an entirely brand new map. So completely new to the franchise. It's not a remaster, it's not a remake of anything, according to the devs. We're also going to see Das Gross, which is just Das House, but it has like all this infection spread across it. So it just looks different. It's going to play roughly the same, of course, but definitely is a little strange to look at, to say the least. We also are going to see several new game modes added into multiplayer throughout Season 4 Reloaded. There's going to be the Havoc game mode, which is just going to be utter chaos from start to finish, because within this, while it is standard modes, it's going to have gameplay modifiers active throughout the entire match. So everything in game is constantly changing with what is actually being played. Sometimes mid-match, if you get a kill, your gun automatically reloads, or then it might switch to low gravity, so you have like moon gravity kind of. It could switch to third person mode. You could get the cranked movement and cranked timers, all sorts of stuff like that, where basically every minute of the game is entirely different and it's playing a completely different way. So that one's going to be a ton of fun to experience for sure. There's also going to be a headshots only mode coming up. Going to be great for camo grinding if you're still working on that stuff, of course. And then also we are going to see a new edition of the Get High parkour course. Sledgehammer did mention that they have an entirely new map coming for this, but then also some secret camo rewards that are going to be available through Get High specifically too. And from the preview that I got when we were a part of a dev call prior to Season 4, they look really cool. So I'm excited to go through and try and unlock all of those. And then lastly, for multiplayer, we're going to have a mode called Mutation, which is definitely going to be very unique. It's basically beasts versus humans with various different modifiers. So you can play as, a human and have to protect against a, dog or a beast kind of character that has different abilities with super jump, or it can lunge further. And that one's going to be a pretty crazy one to experience as well. Switching over to zombies here, while we do have a lot of stuff happening in multiplayer and in Warzone, the same cannot be said here whatsoever. Really, the only update that we have coming for zombies with Season 4 Reloaded is the Unstable Rift feature, which is going to have multiple different entrances to it within a match, and it's basically kind of like a mini round-based zombies game inside the game. There's going to be multiple waves that get progressively harder and harder within the Unstable Rift, but as far as zombies updates go, that's quite literally it. The devs mentioned that Season 5 Reloaded is the next time they're going to have like a major story-based update, so zombies players unfortunately are not getting much during Season 4 whatsoever. We then shift focus back over to Warzone, where luckily we do have a lot more going on here. So Urzikstan is finally going to see some new map updates, specifically focused around the bunkers with more accessibility there, but then also Popov Power is going to get an actual POI update that's going to revolve around the DNA bomb that's been like discovered underneath the map in one of the bunkers there. So it's going to be more of like a story-based and a lore-based map update, but it is cool that we're finally seeing some changes to Urzikstan, because so much focus obviously has been on Resurgence for the past couple of seasons. So nice to see some emphasis on some big map gameplay there. We're also going to see the introduction of redacted weapons, and we've already seen a handful of these. Like if you happen to get a polyatomic key card out of your bioscan, you can end up getting like an 8 attachment RAM, for instance. Well, these redacted weapons are an upgrade of that. Even these are 10 attachment weapons, otherwise known as the default Vanguard weapons. Crazy the fact that we had 10 attachments for a whole year, but yeah, you're gonna be able to find weapons that do have 10 attachments fully equipped on them, and sometimes I'm sure they're gonna be usable. Other times the builds might be a little bit odd. Like even now with some of the 8 attachment weapons from the polyatomic cards, the builds aren't always super great, or it might be on a gun that's not really all that impressive to use, like its damage or its control is not all that great. So they are kind of gimmicky, but 10 attachments means it's gonna feel very different compared to what you're used to at the same time. So it could be very fun to mess around with those. And then lastly, another Urzikstan based update. There's going to be a runaway train end game event. So basically in the final zones of a match, this runaway train event could spawn, and then the end zones are no longer going to be in a set place on Urzikstan. Instead, it's going to be moving with the train. So you have to be on the train, or you have to be running next to the train to keep up and stay out of the gas. And obviously that's going to force all the fights onto the train, which is going to make for a very, very chaotic, a very exciting end game too. So nice way to spice up things towards the end of a match that we really haven't seen in any major way all year long. So that's pretty cool there. And then as mentioned, we do also have some more universal content, so things that'll be available for all modes regardless of what you're playing. And this is mainly just weapon-based updates here. So we do have a new shotgun debuting known as the Reclaimer 18, and this of course is the Spaz 12. What's really cool about this is you can end up using it in a pump action mode or in a semi-auto mode. You can kind of build to see which one works better for your playstyle, or maybe one's a bit more powerful than the other. It is kind of cool though that it's going to behave in drastically different ways as a shotgun, and that should have a decent impact on the close range meta. And then we're also going to see a sledgehammer melee weapon drop as well, which obviously is a slower swinging but obviously heavy hitting melee weapon at the same time. A little bit more gimmicky there, but a new weapon nonetheless. And then we do also have a handful of new aftermarket parts that we've yet to see throughout season 4. These will be dropping week to week throughout the remainder of season 4 Reloaded. Things like the Jack Gunslinger for the Basilisk, or like the Volk for the KV inhibitor that makes it a 2-round burst sniper. Gonna be very interesting to see how that plays. But of course, the standard aftermarket part updates are going to continue throughout all of season 4 Reloaded, leading into season 5. And with all that being said, that is effectively everything that we currently know about the season 4 Reloaded update here in Warzone and MW3. That's gonna wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It is always really appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to guarantee that every single day you are up to date with the latest going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.